Get started. Tonight or today I should say, tonight, whatever time you're watching this video, we are very lucky to be joined by two very inspiring Tokelauan people. We'd like to introduce you to Jennifer Dakuna, who you may be familiar with prior, who has brought us a previous book in 2008 named Voyaging with Ink. Which I believe was a combination of stories of Tokelauan writers. So in a way, I understand it was brought about to inspire, the creative talent of Tokelauan people, and I'm sure it has done that in the couple of years that have passed. But Jennifer has been busy. She's been working away at her next piece of work, which we are here to discuss today, and as well as one of our brothers, our Uhio, Anitelea, who joins us from Taupo. So just wanted to say, Hagaitai guys, thank you very much for joining us today to discuss these exciting new books. So thank you very much, firstly.
Thank you, Hess.
So Jennifer, just starting off with yourself, you're currently in Blackwater, Queensland, Australia. Is that right?
That's right. I'm working in Blackwater, Queensland, Australia as a primary school teacher. And nice. I just moved here at the beginning of the year. And before that, I actually, my husband and I, we have a home in Gladstone, which is like 3 hours away, 3 hours towards Brisbane going south. So I always laugh and think I'm in the outbacks, but we all know that the outback's like a 25-hour drive inland. We're only like 2 hours from the coast. So yes, but we are in a coal mining town, and it's pretty remote in a lot of ways.
For those who may not be familiar with yourself or your work, it's always good to know, what's the connection there? Or maybe we may be related, or we may be from the same nuku, i Tokelauan. So maybe if you'd like to just mention who your parents are and your connection to the motherland.
Yeah, sure. Ko kumatua ko Peteha Matolo. They are from Hakaoho. I was born and raised in Porirua, New Zealand. So yeah, that's my connection to Tokelau.
Oh man, we'll switch over to obviously the sunny Queensland to the sunny area of Taupo, and we have Anitelea Hakalia on the line. Anitelea, do you want to just explain to us a little bit about your background, maybe your parents and your connection also to Tokelau?
Yeah, my parents, my mom and dad. So my mom's Fili Fita Sakaria, and my dad is Timi Sakaria. My mom's from Whakaofo, and my dad's parents are from Nukunonu. And I was born here in Taupo.
Oh, that's good. So, Jennifer, you're obviously representing originally the Sharks, and then Anitelea, you'll be representing Lucky Lua by the sounds of things here today.
That's right. That's right. Go the Sharks.
Well, it's always nice to know we come from strong Tokelauan communities, and obviously we know parents settled in those areas. They raise really, really strong communities. I know Taupo for sure, Porirua, absolutely strong community there. And that obviously in some way has built a foundation for what we're about to talk about tonight. So Jennifer, you're no stranger to releasing books, and if you want to tell us about what these two new books are all about.
Okay, so the first book is a children's book. It's called The Tuluma, and I'm hoping to give an angle where I start a story, a very simple story, just sentence a page, and basically just explaining that, in my home, it has a lot of artifacts, and a lot of those artifacts are from Tokelau. So we have a closer look at the artifacts, and I pretty much just zone in on the Tuluma. Tuluma's always been a special artifact growing up. You always wonder, what's this wooden box about? So basically I just tell a story about Dad telling me. As you know, it's the Tuluma is to do with fishing. So in that line, if I can just sort of stop and acknowledge my uncle who translates the story in Tokelau, and then also in saying that I acknowledge, nā tau taio Tokelau, it was their fishing expedition and that we were able to, na tahui ai na nuku i toke lau. So it's a very, very compelling artifact, very strong, in fact. So basically, Andy makes it come alive through his amazing artistic drawings. And so all of a sudden, these words come to life. And when you hear the words that are translated, I'm getting emotional now. When you hear it, come alive in the actual Tokelau language, it is super powerful. From just a sentence in English that I say, oh, look, come into my home and have a look at this. And by the way, Dad said this. When you hear all of that spoken out by your uncle, it's like, it's more than that. It's more than that. It's centuries and centuries of history that we stand on. We stand on the shoulders of our ngā tautai who went out and got the fish, the hatu pai who shared out the katinga for the village. That's the past that we've come from, and we are so privileged. We're like the branches of the trees, and we're now, here, and we need to tell that story. We need to engage with our generations and say, hey man, there's more out there than just watching NRL or whatever it is. Sorry, excuse me, I do go for the Queensland, by the way, but you know what I'm saying? We need to become passionate about our culture and dig deep in how we can bring that to life for our generations. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely correct in there, and I can appreciate that. It's a very special and significant driver for you, and I'm sure that inspiration will really help to inspire others, to have that same passionate feeling and that same inspiration. So I can't wait to find out more about it and to hear these stories and to just see what it's all about. But it's good to get an insight into the inspiration behind it. Ni te Tuluma. So thank you very much for sharing that. So tell me, how did you discover Andy? How did we know Anitelea was going to be the man to bring the artistic ability to this project?
Well, Andy actually was part of the Voyaging with Ink. He submitted some artwork. The slave Hehe in the book, Maud, the Slavers of Paradise. Yeah, he drew a lovely portrait of that. So that's when I first met Anitelea. And then later on, as I was looking for an artist, I tell you what, I searched high and low. I was so desperate, I even considered looking at Pakistan. But but that's the journey you go on. You go, but all of a sudden I thought, I should look at all my artists from the other books that I had, and I just contacted Anitelea, and I says, look, I've got just a couple of pictures. What do you reckon? Do you think you could do the work? And he was happy as Larry.
Anitelea, when you were approached, what did you think? How did you sort of respond?
I think about it, just always feeling blessed that the opportunity came, because I always like doing random art. I started a little page on Facebook where I just make up like Tokelau warriors. But then the Kazi Jennifer, when she told me the opportunity, I straight away said, yeah, I'm keen to do that. Yeah.
Nice. And coming back to the stories, do you want to give us, Jennifer, maybe an overview of what sort of stories we can look forward to reading in this book, the Tuluma?
Oh yeah, look, the Tuluma is only a very, very short story. It's definitely a children's book, and the focus is really definitely on the artwork and the creativity and how the publishers have presented the book. So it's a beginning, but as soon as I wrote the sentences or the text for the Tuluma, I went straight on to the next artifact, and then I started writing about the bar. You know what I mean? I mean, if you think about all the artifacts in your house, you could just write a story for each one of them. That's how enriched we are. So for Anitelea there, I said, oh, do you reckon you can do it? He goes, oh, cuz, I don't know if I could do it. But, so he's all pressurized by all this work, and I was so excited. And, every time Anitelea will send me a picture or two pictures, I was like, oh my gosh, gosh, I was so excited. So I don't know if I was excited for every page, I'm sure that every Tokelauan will be excited for every page that they see. And, to have a book written by a Tokelauan, illustrated by a Tokelauan, and, for that book, it's like, I feel like it's just a real blessing. Really, really is a blessing.
Nice.
So it's not a long book. It's a short book. It's a short book, and it's really about the heart and soul of the book. If you took along, you relate, and you wouldn't just spend $15 on this book. You would spend $150 on this book. Do you know what I mean? 50 for the artist and for the no, just joking. But it's a great book. It really is. It's a great children's book. Yeah.
And it actually sounds like everything just came together. It sounds like you've been truly blessed that things have just fallen into place. So the story, the inspiration, the languaging, the translation, the art, everything seems to have just fallen into place, which that's got to be a good thing for the success of this book.
Yeah. And going on that journey, you also go through like the actual cultural protocols. For example, I don't know about you guys, but if I see a young woman in New Zealand, for example, wearing track pants, sitting down, I'm like, and hi here, you know what I mean? And I'll say, Anitelea, make sure that girl puts the lava on, please. All those little idiosyncrasies that I would have if it was, my home. You know what I mean? Or there was one time Anitelea drew a picture, and there was a young fellow on a rock, and the old man was on the ground, fixing it. And I'd go, oh, bro, it's not really good for the, younger folk to be higher than the old fella. So you got to have to bring them down, And I didn't know how to say that to Anitelea, but, because you're leading the book, you got to be straight, and you got to talk with love and say, oh, do it this way, bro. Or, oh, that's right. Andy, want to talk about the shell, the high heels?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I couldn't get the right shell. There's so many different shells. It took me a while, maybe like 2 weeks to understand which shell I was supposed to draw.
Okay, so the picture should have been of a hahiwa, and then it was just making sure the shell was the correct one.
Yeah, it was like.
Yeah, I drew a conch shell first.
We always used to see in the conch shell, but I was like, bro, it's the clam shell, the one.
Where did
I didn't even know. I had to Google it myself,
Yeah, to be honest, there's not many pictures of hahiwa online. So how did you find the right one?
Oh, you talking to me?
Oh, either of you.
Well, I knew what it looked like, but you had to show my artist. So I was like, oh,
yeah.
Can we try and Google it? Let's Google it. So we try to Google. Excuse me. We try to Google clamshell and eventually it came up.
Yeah. Oh,
and more recently, I saw on Facebook. It came up on my feed that a Palangi actually caught a clamshell in Australia, Western Australia, and they were trying to open it up, and it's just really fun, to see all these things that we're not used to in New Zealand. But,
that's true.
We've got to bring it home for our people.
Oh, nice. No, that's good. So this particular book is obviously launched this week at Tokelau Language Week. This one here, how are we able to get a copy of it? How does that work?
Yes, well, I do have a form on my Facebook page, and I also have a page called Voyaging with Ink on Facebook, and you can just tap on that form and order. I have been told by some New Zealand customers that they are finding it a little bit difficult, so I am still working through that. So give me some time, and I'll sort that out on the New Zealand side.
Okay, no worries, and we'll share
all
that.
The Australians can,
We'll share that on our social media pages, just so people can easily access that same information and make sure that they, get a copy that way. But the other book that we wanted to talk about tonight was Voices of the Village, a Pacifica anthology. Sounds interesting, sounds deep. Can you tell us more about this one?
Sure. So we have about 40 writers in the Pacifica village, and as you know, we all connected to some village one, either or. That saying about, it takes a village to raise a child. We're that child. So, yeah, we've got, my husband is Fijian. He's written a story. Went to Fiji recently in the holidays, and I managed to do some ghostwriting of some Fijian stories. Cook Island community are in the book. We have about 10 writers. Got a couple of Samoan writers, and the rest, like I said, we've got about 40 writers. The rest are Tokelauan, Tokelauan writers who've just put forward some of their reflections, and lots of poems, lots of good short stories. You know how we like a story to be short, get to the point. So you will find that a story might only be a page and a half, but what I really love about the stories too is that some of our people have written about their grandparents, and I was able to get clearance from the Judith Huntsman's and the anthropological photography archive in Auckland. They gave us a clearance for us to be able to use those pictures. So, thanks to them that we can use pictures of our old people that they took back in the late 60s. The black and white one, sort of like a profile. And yeah, it's very special. I think people will find this book very momentous. And I think that's the whole thing, is that you've got so many special stories, and when our people pass away, that's it. They're gone, that's the Google search gone. And we really need to try and harness that energy and try and keep our stories alive through writing them. And really, I'm humbled the fact that I've been able to do this. But really, when you think about the book that changed Tokelau, it was the Tohipaia, it was the written word of God. And do you know what is the most popular book in the whole world today? What's the bestseller?
The Bible?
Exactly, it's the Bible. And really, I believe that this work that I've come across is a faith journey, and it's just a fruit from the Bible. Where we've got some good news to share with the world, well, that's our good news. Our families, our villages, the place where God himself has reserved, that's a little tiny island out there, hey. But it's been spread around, and yeah, we just got to keep that good news going.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, especially when it comes to preserving the knowledge of our parents and our grandparents who are still here, and we still have an opportunity to talk to them directly and hear and store this somewhere, whether it be in a written form or whether it be an audio recording or a video recording. Because, even if we think about what Tokelau Language Week will look like 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 100 years from now, we're not sure, but having access to this stuff, almost as if you are listening to that person firsthand yourself, can be really, really powerful in terms of preserving the stories and the knowledge that we have access to today. So I couldn't agree with you more. And in terms of the faith and our faith journey, absolutely, it is an everyday thing, and we know our faith, especially our grandparents, keep making sure that we keep our faith strong. I don't know how many times our grandparents have said that, so many times, and it's something that is much more meaningful when they are towards the end of their journey here on earth. So really appreciate you giving that perspective as well.
And Matt, I just wanted to put out there too that the way I've ordered the anthology is by the age. So the eldest person in the book is like 89 years old. So she starts her story first, and then the youngest the person in the book is 9 years old. And so I wanted people to know that this is our proper village. We get a proper insight from, as from the kids to the older people to the people in the middle. And I think it's really a positive message to send to our young children that they are writers. As soon as you start talking, you're a writer. If you can write, you need to start publishing. That's me. That I feel that it's really empowering to know that, so nieces are saying, oh, look, I've published, this is my second time I've published, work. And it could be only a paragraph or 2 paragraphs. But what seed are we sowing for our children? you know, that's quite a big impact on them. They will grow up thinking, one day I'm going to do what my auntie's done. One day I'm going to do a book, or you know, I don't know, all that sort of stuff. So you do feel like you have that responsibility to tell people, write your story. It's all good. Write it.
Anitelea, I'm going to throw to you on that front, because we're talking about writing your stories and sharing your passion and sharing your talent. And Jennifer has been able to do that through the written form. You are beginning to show yourself as someone who's sharing that in artistic ways, you know, through your illustrations, through your drawings, your art. What would you say to young Tokelauan people who have a talent, and maybe they might be a little bit shy, or you know, be humble and that kind of thing? Any sort of advice that you would give? Because you know, I would say you're the youngest out of the three of us, so you know, you'll be more sort of, you know, in touch, I would say, with the young ones.
Yeah, I recently made a video for the Taupol Tokelau Language Week, and I ended that one by saying, just do what you love and love what you do.
Awesome.
And that, and that's what I've been able to do in drawing the pictures for the Tuluma book.
If we want to see more of your artwork, you know, obviously there's some in the book, but you mentioned you started drawing Tokelauan warriors online yourself. Where can those who may want to have a, you know, well, let's go overlook and see this Tokelauan man's work, and see, you know, we might see something that we like, or see some ideas that inspire us. Where can we find this this artwork?
So I made a little page called Hini / Lucky Law Art, where that's where I share all my like doodles. That's what I call them, because they're not professional drawings, just like scribbles. Yeah.
Well,
just
that's great. Okay. Well, we will definitely check that out. So that's Hini / Lucky Law Art, and that's on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's all right. No, that sounds
And
good.
Can I also just let you know that at Te Papa, the marae, on the 24th of October, Anitelea's work will be showing there as well during the Tokelau Language Week. So that's the Ko Auku Tokelau exhibition. I'll just show my phone. Can you see that?
Oh,
you know,
yeah, nice. Oh, nice. Okay. Ko Auku Tokelau. Okay.
Well, so Kaz.
Oh,
that could be the start, you know?
A road trip to Wellington. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so we're going to see your name. We're going to see your art hanging up there on the big walls of Te Papa in the capital city. That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. And also there's I can see now there's a real movement now. I can see a lot of Pacifica people starting to write things and are now looking for illustrators, Anitelea, so watch out.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I'll just focus on our ones for now.
One step at a time, me.
Yeah.
Well, look, just coming again, so we have 2 books being released in conjunction with Tokelau Language Week. And I know that there were some people, Jennifer, that you also wanted to acknowledge. We might just want to mention some of those people who you'd like to thank, who have been part of this journey so far.
Yes, definitely want to just acknowledge Leana Matapuku Foa, who is the other author of the Voices of the Village Pacifica anthology, Obeta Faraimo, who translated the Tuluma book, Anitelea Sakaria, he's with us for his amazing work with not just the Tuluma book, but the book that will be coming out in December, which is called The Bar. I think art has, I don't know, but art does something, takes you to another level, like words do, but so there's art speaks as well, where words can't speak. Who else can I mention? Oh, hey, all my brothers and sisters, I think they're really like, it was time the phone rings up, so Jennifer, just leave her alone. She just wants another, edit the story again or whatever it is. What do I do here? So yeah, all my brothers and sisters in Poriroa, you know who you are. Seno, Okene, there's so many. There's so many. Barbara, Victor, they all helped me. But you know what? I still got nervous. I got the book edited. Cost a lot of money, eh? And when I looked at it, what did they edit? It was hardly anything, because they said they don't edit poems, because it was like, it's artistic work. And I said, the mama, what did oh no, next time. But anyway, if there's any other editors out there who want to offer their work for free so we can save a bit of money on that side, that was a good experience too. But definitely, look, the first book, Voyaging with Ink, was a real learning journey. And I'll be working in November, December to fix up that book and get a reprint out, because that book sold out, amazingly enough. So yeah, when I see people with the book, I get excited. I think, oh, I don't even have a copy. So yeah, it's like it's worth a lot of money now if it's sold out. Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
well done. Yeah, that's definitely awesome. And you know, we would hope for a similar result for these two books. So just to remind anyone who is watching, these books are available on Jennifer's Facebook page. Is that just under Jennifer Dakuna? Is that where we will find that page? Yep. Okay. The Jennifer Dakuna, or on the, you mentioned the Voices of the Voyaging with Ink. Was it a website separately?
Yeah, that's a separate website, and that's just to talk about, writing, encourage people about writing.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and so my maiden name is Faraimel, and I've used it as part of my author name on the books, just so Tokelau people or my family can, identify that it's me.
It's just been, just so great to hear about some of the journey that's involved in this. Looking forward to, getting my hands. I'll be putting my order through, don't worry. And I might have to put in an early order on some of their artwork, Anitelea, before the prices increase. You never know after Te Papa happens. Who knows? These ones might just shoot up ne. I might be like, hey, te tangata o nā art pieces o Anitelea. I'll get in early, cuz. Awesome. But anything else, guys, that you wanted to mention before we wrap up?
For me, I just want to wish everybody a happy Tokelau Language Week, and have fun, enjoy, and that's all I want to say.
Awesome. How about yourself, Anitelea?
Yeah, just for the young ones, like if you want to go study art, then go and do it, because you never know, like an opportunity like this would come up, like work for writing or drawing a book or something.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that. Uhiel, Jennifer, thank you very much for that. The opportunity to just talk about this work. We're really looking forward to seeing and hearing more. Anitelea, good luck with the artwork that's on display in Te Papa. No doubt Te Akainga and Wellington will be more than happy to see your name, our name, one of our brothers up there on the walls of the museum. So we do look forward to that, and looking forward to the release of Te Pa later at the end of this year, and we'll try and touch base around that one as well. So yeah, Jennifer and Anitelea, just on behalf of the Tokelau community, Kinei Yaukilandi, okay, tailahi lele for the opportunity to talk to you both today. And we wish your communities in sunny Queensland and sunny Taupo all the very best for the rest of Tokelau Language Week.
Thank you very much.